Hey guys, welcome to another video. So as you can see in this one, I'll be talking about how to create this beautiful water dropping animation in Blender. Alright guys, I have already created this petal shape curved plane as the surface to move the water drop. So you can use whatever surface you want. And also guys, I have opened the geometry editor down below. And now we can create the water dropping animation. Now first of all, I'm gonna add a curve. So this is going to be a Bezier curve, and then we have to go into the edit mode, tap into the edit mode and delete the Bezier curve we created. And then we have to go into the draw tool, and then we have to select the surface up here, and then we can draw another curve on top of the surface. So this is going to be exactly as the surface is on top of the surface. So you don't want to bend all these points like a normal Bezier curve. And also you can delete whatever points you want. So I'm gonna go adjust some of the points because my tip of the water drops should be at the end of the plane. And also I'll delete this top point as well. All right. And also I'll rename the object. So this one is going to be the water drop. And my plane is going to be the surface. And then I'll select the curve we created. When the curve is selected, we can go into the geometry editor and create a new geometry node setup. So to create the water droplet, guys, we have to convert this curve first of all to a mesh. So I'm gonna go use a curve to mesh node. So I'll get the curve to mesh and then plug it here. So it doesn't change anything. It doesn't convert that to a mesh. So we have to use another node called curve circle. So I'll also use the curve circle and plug the curve to the profile curve. Now you can see it has created already a big thick curve. Now you can reduce the radius to something about 0.02, fill the caps like that, and then maybe I can increase that to 0.04. So this is going to be the thickness of the water droplet. I think it's much better, and we can maybe change again, go into the edit mode and then play around with these shapes. I just want to make sure my water droplet is sync on the plane, so you can adjust the point as you want. So now I want the start of the water droplet to be a little bit thinner, and then when it goes all the way down, it should be thicker. So for that, I'm going to use spline parameter. And then I'll plug the factor to the scale. So it is going to be get us this beautiful shape of the water droplet. So it's just going to be exactly like this. So now we have this beautiful shape. So now we can create the curve shape of the tip of the water droplet. But before doing that, I just want to set up my animation of the water droplet, how it moves. So for that, I'll be using a trim curve node. So this is going to be trim the curve. So I'm going to go paste this before the curve to mesh. And then we have two properties. If I reduce the end property, you can see the trim curve is working properly. You can see that the curve itself going to be trimmed. And also the one good thing about this node is that you can see that mesh or the volume of the mesh doesn't change, right? When you increase the end, which is pressed throughout the curve. So this is really nice, which is really natural way of a water droplet. Now we can use a value node to control the start and end point, because I want to have a little bit shorter starter time. So I'm gonna go plug this one to the end, and then I'm gonna back to 1. You can see that is completely at the end, and we can also use that into the start. And now I want a little bit lower start point. So for that, I want the start point to be a little bit smaller, so I can use a subtract math node. As you can see, whatever value add in between 0 and 1, it defines the end and start point like this. And also we can use the multiply. I think the multiply is much better than the subtract value, so I'll be using the multiply node here. Right, let's move on. Now we can focus on how to create the tip of the water drop. Actually, this setup was found from another guy's YouTube channel. So I'll also put the link in the descriptions if you want to check out the full tutorial of him. Really thanks for him. Anyway, so I'll follow the same steps here. So first of all, I'll use the merge by distance under the mesh. This is going to be merge all the similar vertices or close by vertices together, because this is going to be really important when we doing the next steps of this node setup. You can see the end, we have a really dense vertices. Those are not merged together, so we can merge them together using the merge by distance. Alright, now we can extrude the end of this water droplet using the extrude mesh node. And you can see that it's going to be extrude all the faces. So we have to uncheck the individual. So now it's going to be extrude all the faces. And now we have the selection. Now we can select only the end face to be extruded. To identify that end face, we can use a node called the face neighbors. So how to take the face neighbors, only the circular face to extrude. So we can simply use a compare node here. So the math compare node, now we can compare the vertex count around these faces. So now I'm going to change the float value to integer because this is going to be counting the vertex. So the vertex is going to be 4 for the B value because it's really obvious, because we can see all the corners of this mesh is having more than 4 vertices except the circular end or circular tip of the whole thing. So you can set that into greater than. So then the extrusion is only affected to the tip of this whole cylinder. You can see now it is already extruded. Now you can change the offset value to define the extrusion value. I can maybe type in 0.02 to get a little bit of extrusion to the tip of the water droplet. And then I'll use another node which is called scale element. And then I'm gonna change my scale value. So you can see the scale is also affected to the whole mesh. So here also I have to set only affected to the tip of the water droplet. So for that we can use the greater than resolve function again. We can use the resolve, and also we can use this top value there because this is also returning us the same value. So you can simply use this value instead. Now you can see that only the tip of the water droplet is scaled up, and then I can scale down or scale up as you want. So I'm gonna go scale down a little. So now we have to, do the same step couple more times to get extrusion and then get the final output or final shape of the water droplet. So I'm gonna go repeat that step 2 more times and then plug them as it goes. Now we can use these nodes to get the shape of the water droplet. So the selections for all the extrusion nodes going to be the same greater than functions. So I'm going to get the output of the results and plug it into the selections of all the extrude nodes. So now you can see, guys, that we have 3 extrusion. Now what we want is to get the shape of the water droplet, changing the scale of this extrusion. So I'm going to go change these values to get the shape of the water droplet, as you can see. So you can follow up the same values I have used, or you can use either values to get the shape of the water droplet. And also, guys, finally I'll use a subdivision surface modifier here, level of 2. Now you can see the tip of the water is kind of extruded too much. Maybe we can change the scale element and also reduce the scale extruded value. Alright, I think it's much better right now. The jaggediness of this water droplet is, I don't know any solution for that. It is still there. Maybe we can smooth surface modifier, but it is still there. But it's probably gone after we add in the materials. It is not visible that much. Alright, guys, I think this is the basic idea of the water drop. Now we can, resample the curve to get a little bit more smooth to the curve. So you can use the resample and type in something about 128, now which is going to be extra smooth. Alright, now we can change the value, and now we can see that the water droplet is really nicely moving. And now we can animate the water droplet. Now first of all, I'll change the tip of the water droplet, and then I'll draw another point here because I want the water droplet to fall down naturally. So I'll first of all get this point and the curve, and then I'll rotate it and then place it as it falls down under gravity. Alright, now you can see it is much better. Also, maybe we can reduce the length. I think its length is too much. We can reduce the value. Maybe we can change that multiply value to maybe 0.8, I think, which is much better. So this is pretty much the setup. So I have some of the details at the end of this one tutorial. So hold on, guys. Before doing that, I'll also add the materials of the water droplet. Now we go into the shader editor and quickly create a new material, and I'll delete the principal BSDF and then create a class BSDF. And then I'm going to change the IOR value to 1.333, which is the regular class IOR. And also I'll add a material to the surface as well. So quickly I'll create a new material and then maybe a little bit darker one. Alright, now let's go back to the geometry editor. Now I'll split the display to get the timeline to animate the water droplet. So I'll quickly animate it. First of all, I'll get the water droplet to 0 point, and then we hit I key on the keyboard to set a keyframe there. And then I'm gonna go, maybe we can change that into 100 because this is going to be really, short animation. Maybe we can go and then move the water droplet, hold down the shift key to get a smooth transition. And then we can add another keyframe there. And now I want the water droplet to be, accumulated at the end of this plane to a little bit. So we can add a little bit of waiting time there. And then I can quickly drop the water droplet like that using a small time gap. Then you can see it is moving, and then so now it's really fast. So I can get the cursor and then scale the whole thing like that, which is fine right now. But I want some of the adjustments to the tip of the water droplet. You can see which is not quite there. Maybe we can start it somewhere here instead of starting at the 0, because there is some of the jaggediness going on when we start it from the very first or the very beginning of this water droplet. So I think it is much better compared to the last time. So now we can go into the geometry node, and then I'm gonna go add my final node setup for this whole thing. So this is going to be getting us a little bit of randomness, a little bit of natural motion to the water droplet. So I'll use a set position node, which is going to be deform the mesh of this water drop with the time. So this is going to be getting us the beautiful watery look to the final output. So I'll use a noise texture, and then also use a normal, and also I'll take a vector math node, and then I'm gonna go plug these two values together, and then we plug it into the offset. You can see it is now changing, which is really thick, so I have to reduce that. So I can use another math node, math multiply node, and then we can reduce the value. You can see which is reducing the values like that. We can also use map range node if you want, but it's not necessary. In this case, we can shrink the deformations inward and outward. You can add to min -0.5 and positive 0.5, so which is going to be inward and outward deformation. But I think the inward deformation is too much. You can see a really narrow tip there. So maybe we can increase the min value to something about a little bit less, 0.1, -0.1 or something. I think this is really fine. Okay, now you can see which is really nice, natural. You can see the motion of the water droplet like that. We can control this value. Now we can change that into 40. We can now control the time. You can see we can play around with the scene time. So I'll use the scene time here. Now it is going to be automated. So now we can get the scene time to run it whole thing with the time. So I can plug the seconds to the W value, and also we can use a math multiply node to change the speed of this whole thing. Now you can see it is moving really beautifully. You can see it's just kind of a water kind of a look, but I think it's too much. We can maybe change that into something a lower value, but you can get the point here. So I'll change that multiply value to a little bit lower. This is much better here. Alright guys, I think that is pretty much it for this one. So you can animate this whole thing, and if you want to change these values, you have to select the value node in the geometry node setup, and you can go into the timeline and then change these values, right? So I'm gonna go change some of the timeline here. So I'm gonna fast forward these because I just want to adjust these kind of values, and I have to get the final look here. Alright, I think guys, this is the final result. You can see we have a little bit of waiting time here, and then it falls down beautifully, right? So this is the final result I got. This is not perfect, but you can use the same exact method, and you can practice, and you can change these values and get the final result. So with that being said guys, I think this is the end of the video. So you can find this project file on my Gumroad, so I have put the link in the description. And also if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to channel and like the video. And so with that being said guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.